12 years, and that you go into it with a little uncertainty because after 12 years or something, you kind of grow accustomed to it. But at the same time, where there's the most uncertainty, that's usually the biggest opportunity for growth. So that's kind of where we are, and I'm looking forward to that challenge. Hello, everyone.
Draymond,
it's good to see you as well. So
this team is not used to these long off seasons like you had this off season. What was that like for you? Because you guys are usually, running around until June and stuff.
It was weird. You kind of worked out, or took a break, worked out, got bored, took another break, started back working out. But just did a lot of stuff that had nothing to do with basketball. Spent a lot of time with family. Got a lot of stuff done on the business side. So, just try to take advantage of the time, but it was definitely weird. It was long.
Was there enough time to, physically refresh a little bit?
Yeah, you definitely, within reason as much as you can. It's funny because I was telling my trainer, we were lifting yesterday, and he was like, how your body feel? It's like, I feel good. He's like, all right, so you're 100%. I'm like, I'll never be 100%. That'll never happen for me. But, within reason of 13 years of basketball, I feel great, And so, yeah, you try to let your body recover as much as you can, but after all the wear and tear, I don't think you ever see 100% again. And
the last thing is, how much did you personally miss the postseason? I mean, that's what you guof play for.
I miss it a lot. I tend to play my best basketball that time of year, so to not kind of have that outlet, if you will. That's you go the whole season looking forward to that, and to not play in it, and it's never fun. But we're about 6 months removed from not playing in it, so it doesn't feel as bad as it felt when it was going on. But it was tough to watch.
Draymond, we know you went up to Paris for the final game, or final two games.
I went for the final game.
Final game, yeah. Just what was you've seen Steph do that many times, but to see him do it there at this stage in both of your careers, just what was
it had
that?
Absolutely nothing to do with me.
Yeah, okay.
But to see him kind of embrace that moment, with the who's of basketball, especially over the last 20 years. And I think what I appreciated most about it was watching the guys that don't get to play with him, how their reactions to being on the same side as him. I thought that was pretty cool, to see him after all these years of not playing in the Olympics, and everybody's, Steph's never played in the Olympics. Is he going to do the Olympics? He's going to end his career not doing the Olympics. And to watch him go own that moment the way he owned the moment. Only he can do that, he had a very pedestrian Olympics. And then he get to the final two games, and it's Steph, right? Like most people in his, if you're in that situation, most people, you get taken out of the lineup, you get, it doesn't end the way it ended for him, But with Steph, he wasn't shooting well. But you always know it only takes one, and he hit one, and you know what follows. And we saw it happen. And so I thought it was absolutely incredible to see. I was honored to be there for the moment, to watch him have that moment, and to witness that. It was amazing because all of the stuff he's done in the NBA is great, and everybody around the world knows him. Outside of America, I think everyone else takes the Olympics more serious. Like, if you go talk to most Europeans, they probably would rather win an Olympic gold medal rather than win an NBA championship. It's not that way for us growing up. You grow up in America, the goal is to win an NBA championship. All of a sudden you realize like, oh man, I may be good enough to play on Team USA. I want the opportunity to win an Olympic gold medal. Nikola Jokic grew up dreaming of winning an Olympic gold medal, not winning an NBA championship. to see him on that stage where everyone else in the world is watching that thing and like, that's the thing that you need to do in order to be this guy in our eyes. Michael Jordan went to Barcelona in 1992. Look what he did, right? Like, you start to look at what those guys have done, and Steph needed that. And to watch him not only go get it, like we all, we always say you play on Team USA, the hard part is making the team. Once you make the team, we're going to win. So you're going to get a gold medal. He made that his moment in getting the gold medal, and that was as special as anything I've ever seen him do.
You guys certainly recruited Paul George this summer, even tried to get it on the market, and that didn't happen. I was just wondering your perspective on, those things not happening and what the roster kind of reconfigured to where it is today.
I like the way the job Mike's done with reconfiguring the roster. I thought Mike did it, and Joe and his organization, they did an incredible job of not panicking. In the moment where you feel like, you miss out on the guy or two, most people go make a bad deal because everyone around the world, the microscope that's always on this organization for the last 10 years, it's still there. And everyone around has thoughts about what this team should look like, the makeup of the roster, who they think should be on the roster. And to see them stand pat and say, no, we're going to pluck away. We're going to sign a Buddy Hield. We're going to sign a DeAnthony Melton. We're going to sign a Kyle Anderson, and just pluck away and chip away at it. I thought that was incredible. I thought it shows who this organization is, and it is a testament to Mike Dunleavy and who he is as a basketball mind, a guy who's grown up in the NBA his whole life. And like I said, in most situations you see someone panic and they make a move that set them back for 5 years. And you set one move in this league, it can pretty much set you up for how the next 10 years of your organization is going to go. And, sometimes the best deal you can make is to not make a deal. And I think, we did a great job in going out and getting pieces that's going to help this team grow, that will allow young guys opportunity to grow, and yet keeping the future of this organization as bright as it's ever been.
Did you enter this offseason thinking, considering how the past 2 seasons went, like we do need a little bit of a facelift, a bit of a changing with the roster?
I think every year, even when you win a championship, you need a facelift. The likelihood that you're going to win a championship, return with the same exact team and win again is hard because everyone is now building to beat that team that just won. And so my approach, it's no different than if you just won a championship. When we won a championship in 2022, that next year we were trying to figure out what moves can we make that are going to help us win a championship, because we won't go back again with this team and win another championship. That's just not the way it goes. And so I think the mindset is the same. Every year you go into the summer, you better be looking to get better. If you won a championship and you're not looking to get better, you will lose next year. If you didn't win a championship, you better be trying to figure out how to win it. And so I think my mindset is the same as going into every year. Like, all right, we didn't get it done this year. What can we do to possibly put ourselves in a position to get it done? Or we got it done, and it's about to be hard as hell to get it done again the next year. So I think you kind of got to be along that same mindset regardless of whether you win or lose.
And you said you aren't ever going to be 100% at this point, but how do you feel heading into the season, specifically mentally, considering a lot of what happened last year? Just how are you?
I feel great headed to the season. Mentally, I feel great. Physically, I feel great. The time off to get away from the game of basketball, have a break after the many years that we've been doing this is never too much of a bad thing. Try to find things that you can to keep your mind busy, but also make sure you're doing things to get better and staying sharp. And so just always trying to find that balance. But overall, going into the season, I'm excited. It's a new opportunity, new challenge. With Klay leaving here, I things just look different. It feels different. It's not the same thing anymore. For so long, it's just been the same thing. And I think with it being the same thing, it makes it even tougher to perform at a high level because it's like, the drummer usually gets mad in the band and the band break up, or the not the lead singer, but one of the next guys in line, they get upset and the band falls apart. That's because you get tired of doing the same thing over and over and over and over, and you get bored with chasing that greatness. And I think we did a great job of not getting bored chasing the greatness, always trying to give ourselves a chance to compete at the highest level and compete for championships. And now, we turn the page. And turning the page doesn't mean we're still not competing for the same thing. That's always the goal. But it's just going to look a little different now. It's not going to look the way it's looked for the last 13 years or 12 years. And that you go into it with a little uncertainty because after 12 years or something, you kind of grow accustomed to it. But at the same time, where there's the most uncertainty, that's usually the biggest opportunity for growth. So that's kind of where we are, and I'm looking forward to that challenge.
Draymond, over here. People worry about you. Fans, maybe your teammates.
Why they worry about me?
Well,
I am a successful black man in America doing incredibly well. What's the worry about me?
They worry about you.
There are way more people in this world to worry about than me, that's for sure.
But we're here now. So
we're all here. I don't think you should worry about me.
Okay.
I'm doing pretty well. If you would have told me when I was 13 years old in Saginaw, Michigan, without a pot to piss in, that you'd be sitting here and somebody would say they're worried about you, I would have probably told them they were out of their mind. I'd be sitting here and they'd be worried about me.
Well, they're worried from themselves too. They want to know.
They don't feed.
They
them
know the
families
team
with this,
needs
so why
you.
are they worried?
Because they know the team needs you.
But they don't feed
and
them.
They don't know if
their
you're going to be
families
here.
doing this. I'm here. I've been here for 13 years now.
If you're going to be here every night.
Been here pretty much every night for 13 years.
Not so.
Very much so.
Then you missed something.
We all have. Look, Kevon Looney played 82 games 2 years in a row, and everybody was celebrating. We all miss games.
No, what I'm talking about, they want to know if you're going to be here, like, mentally.
I'm always here. And suspensions, the guideline of getting suspended is something that's in place because it's a possibility. So
There's nothing changed in that respect.
I don't know what would change. Well, I don't get the question. I think my mindset has helped us do some great things. It's pretty cool. So it's all about how you spin it. I love how you try and spin it, but it ain't my spin to it, player. So, yeah, it's good.
Draymond, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you, Ron?
Good, thanks. The four young guys, Kuminga and Moody, obviously going to their fourth year. What specifically can they do to take another step forward? And how much do you expect from Brandon and Trace now that they had their rookie season? You know, there usually is a big difference coming in your second year, obviously.
What can they do differently? I think when you look at all four of them, from J.K., Moses, BP, and Trace, when you look at all four of them, I think from the time we first saw them to where they are now, all four of them, I think we can all see the growth. And on this journey, that's all you can ask for. The rate that growth happens, it varies for everyone. You know, Steph Curry's biggest level of growth probably came between years 4 and 5. Like, that's when he started to really become Steph Curry. LeBron James was an all-star in year 2. You look at where the two are today, And I don't think you would guess that one was like that in year 2 and the other one became that in year 5 or year 6. But that's just kind of how the cookie crumbles sometimes, because it's not a direct science, you know. It's lineups, which is based off coaching. Sometimes nothing you can do about that. You know, it's shots that you're getting. You know, is coach running plays for you? Or are you just getting your shots when the ball comes to you in the flow of offense? All of those things make a difference in terms of a guy's development and where they are in their careers. And so I think when I look at all 4 of those guys, the thing that I can appreciate most is their work ethics and where they are today as opposed to where they were when I first saw them. And all of them have made considerable strides. I think one thing that every young guy has to figure out, and I think those 4 have to figure it out as well, is what makes you an all-star in this league, what makes you a household name in this league. More important than anything is consistency. And I think when you deal with young guys, the one thing that you see wane more than anything is the consistency in which they do it. And that's because it's hard as hell to learn how to go out there and do that for 82 nights. You know, 82 nights, then the playoffs. But once you become one of those household names and got to do it for 82 nights, then the requirements of everything else that you have to do, you're now learning and picking up on that. You know, those are all the things that we never take into account. You know, when I was in my second year coming off the bench, the amount of asks that I had at media day, my sheet was probably filled up halfway. The amount of asks that it is once I started to become who I became in the league is 2 sheets long, full of things to do, right? Like, you're adjusting to all of these things. And the reality is the only part that people ever take into account is what they see you do on the basketball court. But the amount of adjustments that you can be dealing with in life, in your career. And for those young guys, I think they just have to embrace that. They have to approach the night, every single night, with the same intensity, the same mentality, understanding that I'm trying to reach this level of consistency that's going to make me a household name, that's going to make me indispensable role player, that's going to make me a superstar, that's going to make me an all-star. It's a level of consistency that they all have to reach, and I don't think either one of them have reached it yet, and I think that should be the goal for everybody. It's not about what you do, you know, whether you go out and score 20 points a night or get 10 rebounds a night. That's not the most important thing. You're going to do one of those things, whatever the thing is that you're great at and that the team needs you to do. But what's more important is that you can bring that to that team every single night, because the guys around you are going to depend on you to bring that every single night. The coaching staff is going to, their game plan is going to be based on you doing that thing every single night. And I think that's the biggest thing that young guys have to adjust to, and these 4 guys are no different.
I'm going to double barrel this, and I know it's early, but what difference do you think the new additions can make on this team? And is there anybody in particular among them that you're really curious or interested to play with to see what they can do?
I think new additions were the reason we won a championship in 2022. The signing of Otto Porter, the signing of Nemanja Bjelica, the signing of Gary Payton II, those new additions are what took us from a borderline play-in team to a championship team. I always tell people, and I'm sure y'all have heard me say this before, championships are won 6 through 10. Championships aren't won 1 through 5. We see great 1 through 5s all the time, and everybody in the world is like, uh-oh, watch out for that team. Look at that starting 5. How are you going to beat that team? And then you get in the season and they lose in the first round, and you realize, like, they ain't that good. That's because they were 1 to 5 dominant. The teams that you see that got a really good 1 to 5, but they're 6 through 10 is strong, those are the teams that are going to compete for championships. And so when you're speaking of the new additions, when I look at guys like DeAnthony, Kyle Anderson, Buddy, That's Nemanja Bjelica, Otto Porter. Those are guys that come in that you know. I know exactly what those. I can sit here and tell you right now exactly what those three guys are going to bring to this team. We know. I know when we talked about the level of consistency with the young guys. I know the level of consistency that they're going to bring that at. That's what helps you get to conference finals, NBA finals. It's those guys. And no one ever gives them credit. You know, it's the Derek Whites of the world. Derek White been getting a lot of credit over the summer, right? Like, he ended up starting for the Boston Celtics. But he was really brought in to be like 6th, 7th, 8th man, right? Like, that's the stuff that really pushes you over the top. Al Horford. Like, Al Horford wasn't supposed to start on that team. Like, Porzingis was supposed to be the starter, right? Which makes Al Horford your 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th man. That's how you win championships, when you strong there. And so when I look at the new additions on this team, they're proven guys that's respected around this league, guys that you know what they're going to bring every night. And last time we added guys like that, we did what we love to do. So I like it.